Do you use alcohol when you socialize? I want you to keep watching if you do, because I want to tell you about how alcohol could actually be detracting and preventing you from improving your ability to socialize. Ben Alexander here from the Legends Academy, helping men with their confidence, relationships and freedom. And this is a really interesting topic because, as you understand, most people actually use alcohol or are dependent on alcohol in some way when they're socializing, for them to feel confident or for them to be able to talk to other people. So it's even been called like the social lubricant. Once you've got that alcohol in your system, it loosens you up, it allows you to talk to people, you can overcome your inhibitions, and everyone's just a lot more relaxed generally with alcohol. Now, I actually found out from somebody that alcohol can actually prevent you from being as confident as you really want to be. Okay, so alcohol, if you drink alcohol and socialize only with alcohol, your confidence isn't actually as much as if you learn how to socialize without alcohol. Now, when I found out this information, it was back in 2008, and at that point in time, I was actually learning and wanting to improve my ability to socialize, improve my confidence and everything like that. So I thought, well, if stopping drinking alcohol improves your confidence, I need to stop drinking alcohol and learn how to socialize without it, because I realized I was dependent on alcohol to be able to socialize and relax and be able to talk to people. So for 2 years, I didn't get drunk. Okay, 2 whole years I didn't get drunk. A lot of people talk about doing things like dry July or taking a month off. I did 2 whole years. Now, I actually only stopped at the end of this 2 years because a girlfriend of mine at the time hadn't ever seen me drunk, and she was just wondering, she was curious, she thought, you know, is this guy turned into a weirdo or a psycho when he's drunk? So she took me out and got me drunk and found out, oh well, there's actually no difference. So what happens with alcohol, guys, is when you get used to having alcohol to feel confident to socialize, you actually condition yourself to be dependent on it and rely on it. And even though you could actually probably learn how to do it without alcohol, because it's just easier to keep doing it the same way, you just keep doing it. Now, I've actually done studies where they've had a group of people socializing and given them drinks that were flavored with something that tasted like alcohol. And it was actually alcohol free, and after a few drinks, everyone reported they were drunk and having more fun and social and all this kind of stuff. Only to be told at the end that there was actually no alcohol in their drinks. And of course, as you can imagine, at first they thought, what, really? No, you got to be kidding. No, I feel like this and feel like that. But they were told, no, look, this drinks has got no alcohol in, and it was part of a social experiment, and they were like, wow, and they couldn't believe it. So what I want you to think about is how you could actually be drinking all this alcohol for no real reason and actually preventing yourself from gaining more confidence. Because when you do go out and have social experiences with people when you are just barefaced sober, then obviously you have to develop your character, because you're not dependent on something else for that happening. So it's all about you, it's all about real you in the moment, and if someone gets along with you or not, it's because of who you are. And if something's not working there, or you're not able to have fun, then you need to learn how to develop the parts of your personality that's going to allow you to do that. Now, every now and again I meet people at parties and so on who are the sober driver, and I say, oh, how's your night going? And I'm having a great time. And they say, oh, probably not as good as you. And I was like, well, why is that? They go, oh, because I'm the sober driver, I'm not drinking tonight. And I kind of think that's really sad. I think it's a real shame that people can not be able to have fun at a party or in a social situation simply because they're not drinking alcohol. And I think it's really important to cultivate your personality and your confidence so that you're actually able to have a good time and be confident and have a good time without alcohol. And I actually, even when I'm so good now at socializing and going out, I still fairly rarely drink alcohol, or if I do, I don't drink ridiculous amounts of it. And people come up to me when I'm out having a great time because I've learned how to have a really good time without alcohol, and they say, oh, you know, man, you're having a great time. Like, they even ask me if I have drugs. They say, oh, have you got any more drugs? I'm like, what? And they say, oh, you know, come on, man, like, I know you're on something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like completely sober right now. And they just can't believe it, because they say, come on, man, like, you're having such a good time. This can't be possible. They've only known people, or society tells us it's only possible to have that much fun when you have some kind of substance in your body, which I think is a real shame, and it doesn't have to be that way. So what I want to do for you as a challenge, if you're doing something like dry July or so on, I want you not only to reduce or cut out your alcohol input, but I also want you to expand the amount of socializing you're doing, to massively extend it. Force yourself out of your comfort zone, force yourself into situations, maybe bars, nightclubs, and also to actually go and start conversations with absolutely random people you've never met. Maybe go and approach some girls and just go see what happens. And what I think you'll find is, firstly, it's nowhere near as bad as you think it might be. And secondly, I think what you're going to realize is your confidence is going to massively increase, because you're going to say to yourself, well, if I can do this sober, then, you know, I must be like a pretty confident person, because think about it. How many of your friends do you know that are able to go out to a nightclub, maybe go and talk to 5 random girls they've never met before in a night out, and completely sober? And I bet you can say maybe not even one of them can do that. So it's a really great exercise to build your confidence. I hope you check it out. You don't necessarily need to go 2 years without being drunk. If that's for you, then you can do it as well. You can even go longer. But what I think you're going to find is you're spending a lot of money on alcohol that you don't need to be spending. I hope you love the video. Remember to share with somebody if you think they need to hear this message too. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.